Mary Gibbs, won't you too? I am really interested about this because, you know, thank you.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster, my fellow Toastmasters and guests. In Project One, you heard about how to make an inexpensive sale, and today we're going to talk about how to make an expensive sale. Selling expensive products can be risky business. They take more time, 2 days, a week, or a month. So you want to be very careful when making your purchase of an expensive product. By positioning yourself as a resource for your buyer, striving to make the buyer's job easier, and by carefully handling the buyer's objection, you can become a partner and earn the buyer's trust, so that if he needs to come back and buy another product, he will come back to you. Risky business. Have you ever purchased an expensive product and later regretted your purchase?
Yes.
Well, so have I. Recently, I had the opportunity to attend a sale with my sister and her husband as buyers. They were buyers. They found a car that they loved, a 2013 vehicle, and they could actually make the payments on the car, but because I know their financial situation, I was able to advise them on the problems they would encounter if they did make this purchase. And also I was able to question the seller. In the process, the seller ended up showing them a less expensive car, a nice beautiful car, but an earlier year model 2010 Camry that they loved, and now they're happy. When making an expensive sale, you get the opportunity to test drive the vehicle. You also have an opportunity to take a few days to discuss it with your partners and or significant other, your business partners, and you're able to make an informed decision. In the first project, we learned about the 5-step buyer's process. And that is knowing your needs, recognition, search, evaluation, and decision. You still use those processes when you're buying the more expensive products. The only thing is it takes longer and it requires more details. You want to ask questions of the buyer, and you don't want to ask questions that are going to be offensive or intimidating to the buyer. You don't want to ask a question like, hey, I have this fantastic product, and if you buy this product, it's going to save you thousands of dollars. Would you like to buy this product? You don't want to ask them questions like that because that puts pressure on them. Instead, what you want to do is ask questions like how, what, why, where. Questions that's going to get you really good answers. Questions that are going to help the buyer identify the problems that he's trying to solve. And it's also going to help you know the type of products that you have that will satisfy the buyer's needs. Now, every prospective buyer is not going to buy your product. So you're going to want to know how to handle objections gingerly. If you've asked your questions very carefully, you're going to know how to answer your buyer's questions, your buyer's objections. If your buyer make an objection like, I don't like this product, I don't think it's going to work for me, you can ask the buyer more questions. You can say something like, perhaps I missed something in answering your, and asking the questions. So you ask further questions of the buyer to find their hidden problems so you can help better solve their needs. And it's okay also if you just close the deal on objections, you don't have to go any further. You can graciously thank the buyer and then just let them go, or you can dig further and find out more about the buyer. As a salesperson, you want to prevent putting the buyer on the spot. Remember, the buyer is an intelligent person. Your approach should reflect that the buyer is intelligent, and so should your questions. You can avoid objections by listening to the customer's answers to your questions and demonstrating how your product can indeed help the customer. If your products are higher than your competitor's product, then you can tell the buyer why your products are higher by asking the buyer further questions, and also by telling the buyer what your product offers that the other product doesn't offer. And it's also okay to recommend your buyer to your competitor if you know that you don't have what the buyer needs, but the competitor does have what the buyer needs. That's okay. If your buyer has an objection like, I don't like the color of the carpet, well, you can acknowledge that the carpet is bland. However, you can tell the buyer that the GPS system is out of this world. Not only does it talk to you, it also gives you the cost of gasoline per mileage. So you want to be very careful when answering the buyer's questions and when answering the objections. And if you have listened carefully, you can fulfill the buyer's need. You will know when it's time to offer the buyer a deal. Also, you can give the buyer additional information, like manuals on the cars, like this Mercedes here, and let the buyer take the information with them, take some time to discuss it with their partners, and get back with you at a specific time. At this time, I'm going to call my partner up, Greg Geikema. And in this scenario, Greg is looking to purchase a vehicle. As a matter of fact, he's looking to purchase a family car that's going to save him money and be able to accommodate he and his family. Mr. Greg Geikema.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
Good, thank you.
Good, good.
I'm looking for a larger car because I like to take trips, and I've got a daughter and a wife, so there's just 3 of us, but we like to bring luggage to go on trips, and I'd like something that gets better gas mileage.
What kind of mileage are you getting now?
Right now, about 25 to 27 miles per gallon.
25 to 27, not bad. What's your tank capacity?
No, I don't know. I think it's about 16 gallons.
Okay. Does your car adequately handle the luggage without everybody being crowded into your car?
I could use a little bigger trunk.
Did you say you have a pet?
We have 3 cats, but they don't go in the car with us.
Okay. So my neighbor has a cat, and yesterday I discovered she has 2 cats. I don't like cats. I think they could sense it because they stayed their distance from me. Yes.
You don't bring the cat in the car with you, do you?
Oh, no. Do you expect to have family additions?
Private question. Not at this time.
Okay. Room for growth is what I'm looking for. If you are looking for a car that and it can accommodate you if your family should happen to
Sure.
increase.
I think an SUV would probably be too big, so
Mhm.
I'm looking for a full-size car.
Okay. I think you have just the car that you need. I have here Mercedes, or Mercedes dealer. This is the GLK class. Let me show this to the audience. This beautiful car here. It's shaped like a wagon, but it's small, and the trunk is large enough to handle your luggage, and your child would be roomy in this car to play games. And this car comes with a system that shows when you're backing up, it shows objects that are in back of you, and it eliminates the side view, you know, the blind spot on the side, so it will help you out in many ways. In addition, like I said earlier, this car can tell you how many miles you've gone and how much money you spent and the gas tank, so it will help you with your budget. And I know that you're a numbers man, so. What I'd like to do is to give you this brochure, which also includes some prices here for you to consider when discussing it with your significant other. But first of all, I want you to take a ride in my Mercedes, test drive that baby, and come back and let me know what you think.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you.
Yes,
Is that it?
yes,
Thank you.
thank you. At this time, I like to ask questions of Greg.
Oh.
How do you think Dill went? Is there suggestions or things that you think I could have done differently?
I like that you were trying to talk about other interests like my cats, and I also like that you pointed out the backup camera. You gave some features I was worried about price,
Mm-hmm.
but I didn't ask about, but once I heard, oh wow, that backup camera, that sounds cool, then I thought, okay, that's why Mercedes are so awesome, because you have all these options. I think something you could have done better, not sure. Maybe ask a few more questions about what I'm looking for.
Okay, Mercedes are built for the road, I'd like you to know that. And just between you and me, they handle better when you're driven between 80 and 90. So if you don't see any cops around, just take that 80, 90, it's very smooth.
I think I would be interested in purchasing the car based on your presentation.
Awesome. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, now I'd like to open it up to the audience on questions and comments, suggestions. Kim?
I think you did a pretty good job of asking the customer what he's looking for and making a suggestion that seemed to fit his needs. The only thing I think you may have wanted to ask him is what style of car he was looking for, if he was looking for a sedan or if he was looking for a wagon, what he would prefer. I think those two are pretty different in my opinion.
Okay.
But other than that, I think you did a good job.
Thank you. Christine?
Oh, well, you did good. The only, and it's just me, I was just kind of trying to imagine, like, when I go to Bogman Mazda, how those salesmen, they really want to get on your face. I mean, I'm glad you didn't do that,
Mm-hmm.
but maybe a little bit of like, hello, what bring you here today? Say anything, you know, that kind of a thing. But other than that, it was great.
Thank you. Lisa, would you like to query me?
Oh, I think you did a great job. I like that you were smiling throughout. I think I may not have made the comment that you made about cats. You said you didn't like cats. He has 3 cats. So I don't know that I would have actually said that to a customer in the real world that I don't like cats. I don't like it either, but I
Thank
probably
you.
would leave that little piece out.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mary.
Madam Toastmaster.